Magic. Few people weave it into their culture as abundantly as the people of the Ruby Sands. Let us continue telling this great history. For many centuries after the rise of the first desert cities, magic was little more than rumor and speculation. Scholars debated its existence in shaded courtyards. Philosophers argued about unseen forces that might shape the world. But for most people, life was still defined by sun, sand, trade, and survival. That changed when beings known only as the Archons appeared among mankind. No one truly knows where the Archons came from. Some claim they stepped from distant stars. Others believe they had always walked the world unseen. What is known is that they carried knowledge unlike anything humanity had ever possessed. They did not simply perform miracles. They taught humans how to shape reality through written power. They taught the art of spell writing. Words carved with intention could command forces hidden within the world itself. A line etched into stone might hold back fire. Symbols drawn in careful order could bind wind, water, or shadow. Magic, once whispered about in myths, became something that could be studied, practiced, and mastered. The news spread faster than caravans across the desert. Students gathered from every settlement to learn this new craft. In the Ruby Sands, two great centers of magical learning rose to prominence. One was Landmore College, a place where discipline and structure shaped the study of spells. The other was known as the Chamber of Worries, a strange and contemplative academy where scholars tested the boundaries of magical theory and the dangers it carried. For the first time in human history, magic had institutions. The people of the Ruby Sands embraced this power more eagerly than most cultures of the world. The desert had always demanded creativity to survive. Now that same ingenuity found a new outlet. Magic became part of everyday life. It aided builders who shaped stone faster than chisels could manage. It guided travelers through storms of sand. It protected caravans crossing the endless dunes. Scholars would later name this era the Age of Wizards. Magic spread through the cities like fire through dry grass. Libraries expanded. Apprentices traveled long distances to study under famous masters. Entire districts of cities were devoted to magical experimentation. The desert became not only a place of trade and survival, but a center of learning that drew curious minds from distant lands. Yet power invites ambition. Across the world, other civilizations also began experimenting with magic. Among them were the elves, whose curiosity was both brilliant and dangerously bold. While human scholars studied the laws of magic within the world, certain elven mages sought something far greater. They attempted to draw power from beyond the world. Their rituals sought to tap into another dimension entirely, a place of strange energy and unknown forces. The experiment was meant to grant unimaginable power. Instead, it triggered a catastrophe that reshaped the heavens themselves. The sky erupted. A violent storm of blazing fragments tore through the atmosphere, a celestial disaster later remembered as the Tritinarantern. The stars themselves seemed to fall. Across continents, burning shards of alien stone crashed into the world with terrifying force. One of those fragments struck the desert lands that would become forever linked to the event. When it hit the Earth, the explosion shook the horizon. The impact blasted a crater so vast that entire settlements miles away felt the shock. When the dust finally settled, the desert floor glittered with strange red crystal, glass-like shards that glowed beneath the sun like drops of frozen blood. From that day forward, people began calling the land the Ruby Sands. But the strange crystal carried more than beauty. Deep within the crater, where the largest fragment struck, reality itself had been torn open. The impact had left behind something unnatural, something that pulsed faintly with alien energy. A shimmering structure formed at the center of the devastation, a gateway of crimson glass and fractured light. It became known as the Red Glass Gate. At first, scholars approached it with awe. They believed it might hold answers about the celestial disaster that had created it. But curiosity quickly turned to fear. For the gate was not merely a scar in the earth. It was an opening, and through that opening, things began to emerge that did not belong in this world. Creatures unlike any known beast stepped across its threshold. Some were monstrous, others eerily intelligent. Strange relics appeared near the site, artifacts that hummed with unnatural energy. The gate had become a bridge between worlds, and no one yet understood what waited on the other side. The Age of Wizards had begun with promise. But by the end of this 1,000-year chapter, scholars of the Union of Ash were writing with growing alarm. Magic had given humanity incredible power. It had built cities, created knowledge, and shaped the Ruby Sands into a center of learning. Yet now magic had also opened a doorway, and the world would soon learn that some doors are never meant to be opened.